I was okay with that episode. I enjoyed that episode a lot. Episode 13 kind of gave us a few answers to a couple questions that we wanted answered, while also raising a few more questions. But in the grand scheme of things, it was nice to see some old school characters coming back to a new series, to the sequel series actually. Let's get right into it. What it do, YouTube? It's your boy, it is Kills, and we're here for Yashahime Princess Half Demon episode 13. Episode 13, man. We get Miroku coming back. We get an understanding and a reasoning as to why he's been doing this 1,000-day training, which is it's really in line with what his character has been since the final act anyway. He really struggled immensely with not being able to use his wind tunnel. If you guys remember final act, it was a poison from using his wind tunnel to try to destroy Naraku that ended up severely, it hampered him a lot, to a point where like his whole right side was poisoned, like discolored, everything. He started getting spider shaped on his right side the more he used his wind tunnel. So Sango, Inuyasha, Kagome, even Shippo pretty much was doing a lot of heavy lifting in the final act, and a lot of times where you saw Miroku in action, the stakes was really raised. No one really had real life or death consequences more than Miroku. Again, he's really struggled with that a lot. And even in the first episode, no longer having the wind tunnel, you saw how differently everybody treated him. It's like, yeah, that's still Miroku, but his trump card is gone. You know, I said in my the preview video I did, yeah, he has that. Without this, he's almost really a normal person. He's a normal person with abnormal spiritual power. Like, almost, you could kind of say, not to the depth of Kikyo, but he's probably a couple tiers below that. He can handle himself slaying demons, but the real big bads like Sesshomaru and however strong Riku probably appears to be, Kirimaru, those are probably the guys that he gets his ass handed to him a lot. And he even explains it. Even after losing the wind tunnel, he was still slaying demons, but he ran into one demon that was just unbelievably strong. I'm assuming whooped his ass to the point that he really felt useless. Like, he probably no longer felt like a member of the group. He felt like he essentially was normal. He was a guy that needed to be protected. And yeah, you are on the front lines fighting demons, but in a mind state like that, you sort of feel like you're the weak link, that a demon would use you to get to the rest of the group. And I understand why he probably took those 2.5 years. And you kind of saw how Hisui doesn't like him, or it started out not liking him, because how would you feel? You hear stories of how, you know, how much of a badass your dad is, how he met your mom, how badass this group was that was essentially slaying demons across the country, and then run into one bad guy, and then you fear for your life and you run. And it seems like it was a misunderstanding, and that gets resolved in the end. And Totetsu wasn't slain like how the early two perils were. You know, it's still him and damn, these perils are so trash. I forgot the third guy, but Totetsu and the third peril they're still alive, which means that hopefully this isn't the last time we see of Miroku, because Totetsu is pretty much out to slay or out to eat. He's the man-eating demon that's attacking all the priests and all the monks. So hopefully it's not the last time we see of Miroku. And I think that's why Totetsu was pretty much allowed to live. Like, not from the characters, but from story. It's a way to entangle all the old viewers who watch Inuyasha, that maybe it's a chance that Miroku gonna come back. Sango's still in the picture, my waifu. I ain't get to see her a lot, but that ending alone was heartwarming, man. You see that she's a loving mom. Like, her kids still come to see her, which raises another question. Where's the other twin daughter? Which you can kind of only assume that memorial tower where Sangha was praying at, worst case scenario is probably her. It seemed like they were in the Demon Slayer village. That's what it looked like to me. And after all these years, yeah, maybe grass and stuff had, bloomed over, grew over a lot of those graves where instead of that, they just put one big memorial tower there. Could be that. Or, sadly, that's the other twin. I'm rooting against it. Like I said, it's believable that either Miroku or Sangha would have either passed or one of their kids have passed. It's the life they live, demon slaying, and Miroku himself, that might have been another driving force to want to get better and get this divine power that he's been training over 800 days to achieve. He hasn't reached 1,000 yet. It's 800. I think it's literally been close to 2 years since he's done it. So whatever monster that was, whatever demon that was that he ran into was fairly recent. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what catapulted him to wanting to even attempt this. Maybe he was okay. He probably made peace with himself, not having the wind tunnel, not being as strong as he used to be, until whatever demon that he ran into possibly took the other twin away from them to where she's no longer alive, and that catapulted him to want to get better. But we also have one final thing, which was actually really pretty cool. Setsuna inherited Shishomaru's poison blood. I'm actually okay with it being Setsuna who has it, and you kind of have that dynamic of half demons again. Go back to Inuyasha. Whenever Inuyasha used his full demon blood, he transformed like that too. It's a little different than Inuyasha in the fact that Inuyasha had no recollection. He had no control. Setsuna, on the other hand, had control. Although it appeared as though she didn't have 100%. I don't even want to say she probably had a little over 50, to the point where it was okay for her to do combat, but almost immediately after, you have to seal it back. She met Miroku prior to being a demon slayer. We don't know when she was. Actually, no, we do know when she was. We don't know when she met Miroku, and he sealed that part of her away. So, again, it's this whole half demon thing, conundrum, this hanyo thing. They almost flipping the whole logic that we knew of on its head. Like we found out that not all half demons lose their powers on a new moon, and we kind of got a similar understanding that quarter demons like Miroha probably don't have that type of rule either, because I guess it's not half and half, so the majority of her human blood is already pretty much the dominant side of her, so she probably won't lose that much, or she's actually allowed to keep that. So it's an interesting little tidbit here. They're really, I don't want to say retconning, but they're retconning. That's pretty much what they're doing. It's not bad. I'm okay with it, but I am curious to see just how much control Setsuna really has. And remember, she doesn't have a lot of memory. She doesn't really remember anything, but during the fight she remembered that Miroku was the one that sealed her powers. So again, even a little bit, they're sprinkling in a little bit of information on Setsuna and her memories. I'm hoping we get more clarification on the dream butterfly. I want to know what big bad demon that Miroku ran into. Is it Riku? Was it Kirimaru? Or was it Shishomaru? Because we have, even though it was a dream, we have a little bit of information that might be the reason why we don't have Kagome in Inuyasha. And what if during that initial conflict Miroku tried to step in, but what if Miroku ran into that same demon again, tried to fight, lost one of the twins, got his ass beat, and realized like, okay, that's twice now. That's twice now that the same demon has just taken something precious from me. And now I have to try to get stronger. We don't know. We do not know. Like I said, they gave us a little bit of information, not enough to fully clarify and answer a lot of these questions. But they did, in a way, it kind of explained away Miroku, kind of explained away Sango and why they're not here in the story as often as we would want them to be. Now, where's Shippo? Are they gonna give Shippo a little episode here and there? I want to know. I'm curious on where he's at as well. Still holding out hope for Kagome and Inuyasha, but I believe that's gonna be a bigger plot point later down the line. So we'll see how that goes. But yes, Setsuna can transform into a full demon. It affects her heavily, though. It looks like she has very little control, or not enough control to where it's something she could use often. Like, it has to be sealed away. Miroku's back. Miroku's doing 1,000-day training to try to get divine power. Maybe when he does get that, because they specifically say he has 200 days left. This story, like how Inuyasha's story was, we don't really get set days. Like, one episode could be at a new moon in August, and then the very next episode, months could go by. So they really don't clarify time in this series, either series, which is funny because both Inuyasha and Yashahime kind of deal with time. They really do, but they don't really specifically say. They leave it up to us until they give us a tidbit, or they bring us up to speed on just how much time passed. So I'm enjoying the series still. Seeing Miroku again, it's pretty cool. I can understand why Hisui wasn't really rocking with him. If you remember, Miroku's character, his personality prior to joining the group, he would leave. He would run away. Like, Miroku was the type that if he can win, he'll do it. If it's any trouble, any real big danger, sign of danger, he'll leave. He'll leave at a moment's notice. He won't tell people, and he'll probably steal everything out your house. Probably try to take your girl. Probably try to take your wife. He's probably, if the MILF looks attainable and good enough, he'll probably take her too. That's just what he was. But we also saw his character progression over the course of Inuyasha to Inuyasha Final Act, where he was very willing to lay down his life for these people. Like, that group is his family, and he was willing to, he'll do whatever he had to do for them. So hearing that he ran away was very Miroku-like, but it was un-Miroku-like at the same time. So you kind of didn't know which to believe, but I'm glad he's still here. I'm glad he's still training. Sango's there. It look like they haven't really seen each other in the past 2 years, which you can understand why. It's Miroku, and he's married to Sango. I would have trouble doing that 1,000 day if I'm married to Sango and I see her every day doing that training. Don't even see her, Miroku. Keep that lecherous hand, you keep it away, and you keep doing your training, you feel me? But that's gonna do it. I kind of rambled a little bit longer than I wanted to, actually. I try to keep these videos between 15, maybe less than 15, but I was actually pretty excited about this. Miroku's back, we saw Sango, we saw another peril, unassuming peril, but they've all been unassuming. So hopefully when we get those two out the way, we get to the real villains and get some more real action. Also, the animation was great. They threw down on this animation for this episode. I'm glad they did. This is post-Christmas. Happy holidays. Post-Merry Christmas. So that's gonna do it for me. It's been your boy ItsKheals. If you enjoy, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. How'd you guys think of this episode? Did you enjoy it? Was it nice seeing Miroku again? Did you want more Sango like me? How you feel about Hisui? How you feel about seeing one of the twins? You didn't get the other twin, but you saw one. What do you think happened? Let me know in the comment sections. Comment what you think happened, and I'll get right back to you. It's been your boy ItsKheals. Peace.